Hi guys, happy Thursday. How did that full moon treat you guys? How's the full moon hangover? How y'all feeling? Did it wipe you out? It was intense. But I want to read you guys another bit of the God in a Costume, Remembering Who You Really Are by Angie Peguero, and where I left off. So we are in chapter 2, The Layers. It goes like this. Not God. So we ended in you are God, right? Not God as in distant figure sitting on a throne somewhere beyond the clouds. Not God as something you have to earn your way back to through suffering or sacrifice or good enough behavior. God as in the very source of all that is, choosing to have a life as you right now in this body in this exact moment. That idea will feel uncomfortable to many of you, many even offensive, maybe even offensive. And that reaction is just the very programming doing its job. Religion spent centuries teaching you that claiming to be God is the ultimate act of arrogance, even blasphemy. Society reinforced it by teaching you to stay small, to defer, to look outside yourself for authority and answers and salvation. So of course the idea lands like a shock to your system. But sit with it for a moment. What if the most sacred thing you could ever do, the thing every enlightened teacher who ever walked this earth was pointing you toward, was simply to remember what you actually are? You are not separate from God. You never were. You were just programmed to believe you were. And that is the deepest layer of all. Think of it this way. Take a drop of water from the ocean. Is that drop the entire ocean? No, but it is. But is it ocean water? Yes. Does it carry the same nature, the same essence, the same composition as the whole? Absolutely, right? The drop of ocean water is not the totality of the ocean, but it is the exact same thing at a different scale. It is the same source. It never stopped being ocean, even when it forgot it was, right? That is you. God is the ocean. You are the drop. Different in scale, yet identical in nature. You are not less than. You are not separate. You are a perfect expression of the whole, having an experience of individuality so that the ocean could know itself from the inside. So the ocean can know itself from the inside. So the ocean can know itself as a human. The teachers we have been taught to worship were never the destination. You always were. And now it's time to drop your layers. And so at the end of this chapter, it has a remember this portion with bullet points. And it says, remember this. You came into this world with an empty backpack and a bare soul. Everything you collected along the way, the fears, the beliefs, the wounds, the identities, was never truly yours, nor the true you. The word belief contains the word lie, because a belief is just a story repeated until it felt like a truth you trusted and were confident in. There are only 5 universal laws. Everything else is a belief, right? A lie, a lens, or a program that was installed into your hardware, right? Into your subconscious mind, either through school, indoctrination, through media, TV, movies, right? Through your parents, right? Society, and it was handed down to them. And also through religion, right? Religion is one of the biggest programmers. Yep. And so religion handed you teachers to worship instead of the teachings to practice, right? So in religion, they worship Jesus, like for Christians, they worship Jesus Christ, right? Jesus was trying to teach you how to embody what he was teaching. He was trying to teach awakening, enlightenment, right? And so instead of practicing and embodying the teachings, people started idolizing Jesus instead. You are not separate from God. You are a drop of the same ocean in a different container. And then the layers can be put down. What has been collected can be released, right? So these are just veils that we added to ourselves. That was never us. Deep down inside of us, we are all just a soul, right? In this human body. And we could take the programming off. We could take off the layers and then be this divine incarnation. We came here to be with our specific divine gifts, right? And the whatever life your soul chose to have here, the family it chose, right? Whatever you had to learn within your family, it's connected to the gifts that you're here to share, right? And so we are usually so stuck in like, why me? And being a victim, pretty much like, this happened to me. But in reality, what are these things meant to teach you? What were you supposed to learn within these experiences, right? And then learn and master so that then you can teach, right? So that you can be a leader in this new earth and teach this thing that you're so good at, right? And so that's it. Have a beautiful day, beautiful night.